tomorrow at Lambeau Field starting at 7 p.m. ESPN Wisconsin has wall-to-wall coverage of the event all weekend. And earlier today, Alex Strofe caught up with Packers cornerback Carrington Valentine and wide receiver prospects Ted McMillan and Matthew Golden during the Draft Spectacular. Listen back to those interviews on the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and you can catch ESPN Wisconsin's coverage of the NFL Draft all weekend right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers defeated the San Francisco Giants 11-3 last night. The Brewers putting up 8 runs in the 6th inning thanks to Christian Yelich getting his 5th career grand slam. Brewers and Giants are back in action for Game 3 of the series tonight. Freddie Peralta on the mound, first pitch at 8:45 p.m. You can listen right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other. I guarantee we're going to come out of the draft, and I'm not going to think that we are like leaps and bounds better. I just don't feel like Goody hits the home runs that merit holding on to draft picks like they're absolute gold.
Literally everything comes back to, do you actually trust him with draft picks?
I do think there was times, okay, maybe we have a few players to pick, and we were looking to move back.
Do you remember the last time the Green Bay Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round of the draft? 23 years ago. Maybe that streak comes to an end.
I would love to see the Packers go 110% all in.
Is there a position, is there a player who will make Packer fans say, yeah?
And maybe someone like Matthew Golden from Texas jumps him, Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State. A professional receiver. I think he could fall to 23.
Texas A&M edge, Shamar Stewart, the workout, the Underwear Olympics star.
See, so what makes me excited about that is...
Underwear Olympics?
Yes, Underwear Olympics. Actually, Captain Underpants is what I'm going to call him if they do end up getting him.
Perfect.
That'd be perfect.
God, I want that pick.
What? Dad, you're
and some will say, okay.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I do have the power. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. By us, I mean Matt Hamilton in his throwback Packers jersey. Who is that? What jersey are you wearing there?
I'm surprised you didn't say Hamilton.
Don Hudson. You. All right. Molly Brown also here in the Everlight Solar Studio with me, Chrissy Birdsall, hanging out.
Right.
Social media for thirsty,
us. Molly.
Savage.
And primetime Wollershine behind the glass. And look, the draft is tomorrow. Are we ready? Because after the draft tomorrow, we will not have any mock drafts till Sunday when it's the way too early mock draft. What? That will come out on Sunday, right? We all know that. Like, there is no break from mock drafts. There will immediately be a way too early mock draft on Sunday.
Very true.
Yeah, you're probably
right. Maybe
they give
wait. I won't be looking it up.
Maybe they'll give some people
It's going to come to you.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, it's not a bad preview for college football, though. If you look on there and not see any Badgers and be like, oh, we stink again. Like the Milwaukee Bucks. We stink again. Not a great night last night for the Bucks.
Luckily, I wasn't able... Well, luckily, unluckily, I don't know what you want to call it. I wasn't able to watch it. All I saw was the little score bug in the corner as I was watching the horrible Grizzlies OKC game as well. I did get a little excited when I saw that it was, a 2-point game because it wasn't a 14 or 16-point game anymore, but... Then I lost all hope once I saw it just continue to get away. So,
Hey, we got someone chiming in on the talking text line. The Cardinals talking text line, 844-770-3776. This is more. Put your name on it. We'd love to give you proper credit for it. Love prime time just fine. But the girl, Chrissy, I added the Chrissy part, who just did the Sports Center read, was incredible. Put her in charge of that. Nice. There you go, Chrissy.
I've been telling Jesse for a while now that we got to hire Chrissy full-time as just our Sports Center reader. Sports Center updates, nothing else.
That's what Christine Lacey does, right? Isn't that her name? That does like the ones during the day?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah, and then Chrissy, on top of that, also cuts video clips for our show.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Maybe we can just stop. We need to hire Chrissy Birdsall full-time. Full stop. We don't have to limit to
you
just
go.
sports centers there. But, Chris, you want to take a bow? Congratulations. You got the first shout out on the air.
Yeah, I'll take a huge thank you to whoever said that.
Unnamed in the 608.
Yes.
Please hire me full time.
There you go.
Yeah, put your name on it, coward.
You know what's funny? Can we just talk about Prime's like sports center reads? Matt is savage when it comes to.
Well, here's the thing. Matt would be absolutely
Oh, God
horrendous
awful.
at it.
God awful.
And I feel like either you can or you can't. And for me, like I was never great at sports centers.
I was
so
pretty good. So.
I would just.
Oh, wow.
I was savage.
I got
Maybe not as good as
I should
Chrissy,
say, like,
but
traditional sports center. I still would crush everyone in here, but I would just. Absolutely. Yeah, no,
They
absolutely.
also win the humble Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
also
don't think nobody wants to hear about the Bears for a solid minute and a
Yeah,
half.
no.
True.
Well, one, look, we'll get into this. Few sports center rules. Never repeat your lead, which too many people do here. Never repeat your lead for the sports center. Too many people read the same read and the same lead over and over again. And what I would do, I would just pull up the box score, and I'd seen the game, so I could just look at the box score and then wing it. But you also have to have a good transition from the end of the Brewers. You can't just go, oh, the Brewers win 11-5. Basketball, like that's such a lazy, bad transition. Sports Center is key if you're good at it, and Chrissy's really good at it.
Take note, Chrissy.
Gabe Neitzel is really good at it. There's a few other people who are really good at it. It's in the writing. If you write it really well, you can read it really well. I'm not great, as you guys see with live reads. I'm still not great at reading stuff that is written for me. Most things that I ad-lib. So I ended up just ad-libbing my sports centers. But I knew enough that I could just kind of go. And so I stole that idea from someone who used to work here, and you did their sports centers like that, and it just worked better for me. But in general, if you're going to be good at sports centers, you have to write out a great sports center. It's in the script.
Yeah.
And Chrissy obviously writes a great script, and you have the delivery of all those other things. It's a forgotten art. So shout out to Chrissy for it. So good, but you got to write it out.
Yeah, so how good was Matt Hamilton at, writing out sports centers, writing out anything back, in his astute writing days?
What?
Nobody thinks Matt Hamilton can hold a candle to you,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yes.
That is what's great about it. He just loves to chirp, loves to laugh.
Yeah.
And when he knows he couldn't do it any better, he's like, oh, this is what I'm going to get him here. Yeah, exactly.
Because I'll never do
Savage.
it. I'll never be proven wrong.
There should be one day that we just force him into it.
How about today at 5 p.m.? Matt Hamilton's reading your Sports Center update.
I gotta use the restroom.
Yeah.
I bet you Chrissy could write you a script and
I'd
you would
still screw it
still
up.
suck at it.
Well, because
probably
there's still
right.
so much to it. Because you have to
you got to have the right voice inflections.
True.
You got to have the right personality.
And
like
it's not
all the
hard.
things.
One, you just kind of you go down when you end. You go up when you start. Like so, you finish one story, you go down.
You
go
can't
up.
stutter.
Then I knew it.
You go up on the on the up.
But I'm not
The
gonna
upswing.
do it. My
His voice a little
My
scratchy.
voice is a
Oh,
little
yeah, is that what it
scratchy.
is?
I probably have to use the restroom or wash my hair.
Wash your
Just busy at 5 o'clock.
Wash your
okay?
hair.
Now it is
Oh,
to
wow.
Matt's defense. It is incredibly hard to read something that someone else wrote for you.
That's why you read it a couple times first.
But I would say
I like sitting on the sideline and just poking fun at whoever does it.
And then,
I
You're getting
don't want- I
nervous.
want any more of this.
Chris in the 608 said he ain't scared, and she didn't stumble once, was enthusiastic, in and out on time. So, there you go. I would say that was a great sports center. They're
was?
rare. Full disclosure, Chris is the only one that does a good sports center here. I feel like Riley does a good one, too. It's the young
Riley
folks.
does well, yeah.
It's the young folks that actually give a damn.
They have the energy, yeah.
that want to do a good sports center. That, like, when you leave broadcast
Molly
school...
is so offended right now, guys.
No. I'm offended for other people. I haven't done a sports center in probably going on 2 years now, but no, I just.
When you
I'm
actually-
offended for the other people that do sports
when you're in
centers.
journalism
I don't
school
mind.
and you actually give a damn,
Right.
like you want to be excellent at what you have the opportunity to do. But like I will say this, it took me. This is how I was bad to start. It took me no less than 6 months to get cleared to do sports centers back in the day. When I was not in charge of clearing it, there was someone, Mike Goldstein, Syracuse School of Broadcasting, and I've shared this story before. I was on WFAN in New York as a stringer broadcaster, which means they'd go to me and be like, Jim, let's hear at the Miami Heat, New York Knicks game. The Knicks are up 52-45, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Larry Johnson leading the way with 32 points.
You just painted a picture for me.
Right, but like I could do that for WFAN in New York. They paid me money to do it. The station that Mad Dog, Russo's, all that. Like, but I couldn't get cleared to be on sports centers in West Palm Beach or Madison. Like, obviously, in West Palm Beach, I was covering the Heat Knicks. But even up here,
Clearly,
it took me
we have a higher standard.
6 months 6 months. But at the same time, I know what is a good Sports Center. I know how to do it now, and it's in the writing. The inflection and all that will come in as it goes. But if you write it well, it's a lot easier. I'll give the one thing that blows my mind, because she's young though, she reads off her phone, Chrissy. Like I used to do, you write it out because you also can then time it. That's the part that timing's impressive, is that, again, we used to have the scripts where you could write out the script, and then you could see if you wrote it double-spaced, all caps, that you knew exactly that when you wrote it to that point, you pace it, you'd hit it on time every time. That's a lot harder to do on a phone, and obviously you still can have the markers on your phone to see where it is, but that was the other trick, to be able to be on time. You write it with, there's a little sort of clock next to it. You can write to it. So
take notes, Matt.
I have been. I've been writing a whole lot down.
Little broadcast school there for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was great.
I don't know if anyone
free
cared.
for all you guys.
I don't know if anyone cared about that, but
take that knowledge to the bank.
I feel like Molly was good at Sports Centers. It's been Neitzel was good at it.
It's been a long time since I did one.
Does Molly 50 minutes from now, do you want to do one?
If you write one for me,
writing it?
I can't do it. Like I know Strofe, he used to do it off his phone. I know you do. Like you've
No
literally
idea.
just
Also
scrolled on
relevance.
ESPN. I can't do that. Like I have to have a script.
I want to be clear.
Yeah.
I did not forget about Strofe. He just faked it till he made it. He just brought a lot of energy. They were not creative. They're not well written.
No,
they were
not at all.
There was not a lot of effort put into them.
He had his very own style of Sports Center updates.
Yes.
Yeah, he had
It's a
quite
nice way of
style.
putting it.
He had
Right,
quite a
but
style.
again, it wasn't much of a actual. Again, if they're well written, they could be legit. But this is ESPN used to have a guy, an older guy. SVP used to have him read rap lyrics. I wish I could remember his name, but he had the low voice. It'd be like, "This is Sports Center," and it would do that. Not the deep voice guy that does the imaging for us, but had a low kind of NPR sort of voice. And when he would read the rap lyrics, it was hilarious but SVP would hear him do these Sports Centers, and they would knock them out on a national level. Perfect every time. You'd think they were recorded because there would never be a mistake. Christine Lisi similar, but to have that, and this guy would knock it out. He retired, but his whole thing with ESPN Radio for a long time was just crushing Sports Centers. And then SVP brought him in to read obscure rap, Wu-Tang Clan rap lyrics, and it was just amazing to hear someone shimmy, shimmy, yaw, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yay. Give me the mic, and I'll take it away.
That's funny.
That's good.
What a job. Imagine telling people that's your job. I go on SVP and I talk rap
Spoken
lyrics.
word, lap lyrics.
Lap lyrics?
Rap lyrics.
Matt would be so good at Sports Centers, guys.
I think I nail it.
Oh, man. We got a lot. We got the Bears, the Bears. We have the Packers draft dream scenarios coming up next. So that'll be very exciting to get into. But I want to tell you about Carbon World Health. I just turned 45 yesterday. And look, as you get older, you want to make sure you get the cryotherapy, you get the red light therapy. You can talk to them about hormone replacement treatment. If you're not gaining muscle like you used to, if you are feeling maybe you got a little bit of anxiety. You got other things that don't feel normal. You're not sleeping through the night like you used to. Plenty of different reasons. At least go get tested for your testosterone levels over at Carbon World Health. You also ask them about GLP-1s like semaglutide, and obviously they have the workout facilities there as well. We're going to do dream draft scenarios next. Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like the Dam Bar, Caribou Tavern, Rips Bar, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Did you miss Hunter Vaughn and the Dean Dennis Semrau this week? No fear, you can listen back on the ESPN Wisconsin app. This week, they took a look at the top athletes from around the area. Plus, they were joined by the head track and field coach of Sun Prairie East, Doug Moan, as well as a future Badger and defending 400-meter champion, Nicole Repka of Verona. Again, you can listen back on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Delta Dental is proud to sponsor Family Sundays at Helfair Field. Play catch on the field on Sundays from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. prior to Brewers' regular season home games. Admission is free.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Show replays, exclusive content, it's all on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The Wisconsin sports fans' best way to stay in touch with their favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows and keep up with their favorite teams. Find the new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. The Sports Center famous Chrissy Birdsall in here with us. We are all graced by her presence. Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge, and Matt Hamilton with you. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. Prime, you good with being replaced by Chrissy by Sports Centers if that's possible?
I would absolutely love it, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but Sports Centers aren't my strong suit. They aren't my favorite thing either.
Can I ask a question before we get into our,
of course,
side limit poll question? You can get into the show 844-770-3776. List is more. I want to ask this one out. I don't want to post it. Maybe we can post it to Jim, Matt, and Molly, but who do you think the best Sports Center anchor in ESPN Madison history was?
So you mean like Sports Center update?
Sports Center update, yeah, anchor.
Was?
We can't go now.
Oh, why not?
I don't know anybody beyond. I think I kind of vaguely remember Tony Cartagena's Sports Centers.
Yeah, I think
that's
the
about as far back as I go.
diehards would know, like
Colin
Neitzel. I don't know if Russo ever did them.
Colin Russo
did
do him.
Did he?
Definitely did him.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But like Neitzel or Strofe there's going to be a recency bias into it. But I think if you put some of those names on there.
We just got a text in on the Carbos Talking text line for Calvin Russo.
There you go. Calvin.
From Alex G, by the way.
There you go.
Alex G, another former Sports Center reader.
Yes. Yeah, so I would say it like this. The issue, Ryan, and it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault, but he's going to somehow make it your fault right now. Right now, Ryan.
It's not your fault.
You don't want to do them. You don't care to do them. You're just here to.
I care to do them. I just stumble, guys. You know what it is.
But I mean, like, it's one of those things where you, and I understand it. If you're not great at it, you kind of plateau. Then it becomes like a burden where you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this now. I hate doing it.
You've reached your peak, Ryan.
Clearly.
But like, this isn't the fun. Like, Ryan is a ascending producer and a great producer.
Yeah.
Sports Center anchor is not his dream, nor is it really even being like a host. So it's not negative to him. Like, he is ascending in so many other areas that at some point you're like, this isn't my thing, and if I didn't have to do it anymore, it would just honestly make my life easier.
Ryan just has a hard time finishing in a minute 13, okay? Like,
yeah, see, guys, you put time constraints on me, and it's going to be tough.
That's the problem.
Congratulations to you, Ryan. That's actually not the worst. That's actually a compliment.
Spin zone. Thank you,
You're not the worst producer.
Well,
it's worse than finishing early.
Right.
There you go.
Just sitting there waiting.
Second and a half Hamilton.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're just going to sit there and let the music run because you finished early? Sorry, it's never happened. This has never happened to me before.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
It surprises everybody.
Yeah.
It's a long Sports Center bed.
Then we have to jump in and be like, it's okay, Ryan. We'll just do the show.
It's a lot of awkward dead air when that happens.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So you know what?
Keep doing what you're doing,
It's
Ryan.
better to go long on that than to go short. So you know what?
Good for you.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, let's give Ryan.
You're the best Sports Center anchor.
Because you always go long. All right.
Moving on.
The other day, on Monday, we did we did our nightmare scenario for the Green Bay Packers. And to recap that, do you guys remember who you picked for your nightmare scenarios, or should we? Because what basically,
we can recap it.
I'll set it up here for you, is that nightmare scenario for the Green Bay Packers, and we're going to do the Green Bay Packers and NFC North, was what player basically, if you're Matt and Molly, do you not want on the Green Bay Packers? And then if you are me, what player do I not want on the Packers because I think they're going to be good? So they don't want them on the Packers because they think they're going to be bad. And then we'll get to the North. But can we get some NFL music fired up here?
Uno momento, guys. You know,
throwing a lot at him.
Yeah.
A lot. We got him flustered. Talking about his length.
Working on my Sports Center reads.
Stamina. I didn't think we got. Yeah. This isn't the underwear Olympics here, all right?
Oh, God.
Okay. Dreams and nightmare draft picks. So now we're doing the nightmares. My nightmare pick for the Green Bay Packers was Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, who, worth noting, Matt Miller in his last mock draft from ESPN has Will Johnson falling to the Packers. He thinks the injury concerns and lack of workout basically this offseason could have Will Johnson slipping. Matt, your pick was, for a nightmare pick?
Was Teteroa McMillan.
Yep.
And I understand he's a good wide receiver. And don't get me wrong, I would be okay with him getting drafted by the Packers. But I don't think it's our greatest position in need at wide receiver. He has openly said he's not into watching film. And I don't think that's a way a young ascending wide receiver establishes himself as a number one wide receiver on a football team. And three, and maybe the, like, kind of circling back, is we so need a cornerback, like, so much worse than a wide receiver. We've got four guys that are fine. And I know that's not good enough necessarily to win a championship, but we have no corners. And we are safe to assume that Jair is not going to be a part of the Packers next year. We've got three guys on the roster.
Side note, before we get to Molly's, are we aware that we spelled this person's name wrong on the graphic?
No, we were just made aware.
Who was just made aware?
I was, by Molly.
I looked at the graphic.
It is Shamar Stewart, incorrectly spelled Simar, on the first half of the graphic.
Did you do this?
I did overlook it at the very end, yeah.
So you're the editor?
Yes, one might say.
The editor that doesn't make edits.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Here's the thing, Jim. He doesn't really want to be an editor, so like he's realized he's plateaued and just isn't really
Matt,
trying
for that Sports Center in 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
again,
right,
Matt, I will say this. Ryan is really good. I think Ryan's covering for someone. Because Ryan is very good at not making these mistakes.
Totally.
Okay, Molly.
I I didn't make the mistake.
No.
I just want
Molly, you're the one who
that to be
sent me
known.
this pick. I copy and pasted it.
Yeah, actually, okay, so that did actually happen for one of my Potawatomi picks that I do. Autocorrect. I swear to God, I put the name Crier and it autocorrects to Carter.
Do not get me started on autocorrect. I have an Apple iPhone, and my daughter's name is Nola. I have referred to her as Nola a million times, and Apple still wants to correct it to Nolan every damn time.
The worst.
Why? It is clearly not Nolan at this point, iPhone. I've had the phone for like 7 months. Like,
worst.
It's not Nolan. All right.
Oh, we call my daughter Livy because her name is Olivia.
Yeah.
It corrects it to Libby every time. Libby. It's like, nope, not the same. Anyways, my pick is Shamar Stewart. And I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this in the open. We play it almost every single day. That his nickname is going to be Captain Underpants if the Packers do indeed draft him. The thing that makes me nervous about him is that he's just going to be another project, and I don't think that the Packers have the capacity on this team to be able to have another project coming out of the first round, as they have Lucas Van Ness, they have Rashawn Gary. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's a project at the same position. You've currently got a running project going.
And it's just getting worse because I feel like all the mock drafts that that I've been looking at have him going to the Packers, and I hate it.
All right.
Hate it.
Switching over to nightmares for the NFC North. Shamar Stewart, even better, spelled correctly on this one. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's great.
It's because you said it, not because I said it, though. That's why it's right.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so my NFC North nightmare pick, so we each were assigned a team, and my NFC North nightmare pick was I got the Detroit Lions. Shamar Stewart to the Detroit Lions actually seems like a disaster for the rest of the NFC North because if I'm betting on it, I'm betting on Dan Campbell and that culture in Detroit to develop a guy, and they don't have as many projects as the Packers have, and you have Agent Hutchinson right there. You have all these. The Lions just seem to be full of overachievers, especially on defense. So if you're going to get the most out of a guy like Shamar Stewart, which I understand the tantalization over because he is a guy that it's not that he didn't burst through the line and get pressures. He just missed the tackle. So if you're a coach, you're like, this guy just all he has to do is figure out how to actually freeze and tackle the guy, not let him get by him. But
How to finish.
Part of his job.
But if you get all the way through, then you have this sort of all you have to do is teach him to tackle, and that's it. You have all the hard parts. Like tackling should be done like in 8th grade.
And I think also going off that, just to add another layer, is if he did go to the Detroit Lions, look at all the people he could learn from.
Yes,
who on the Packers is he going to learn from?
Right, he learned
Pro
from
Bowler
Lucas
Rashawn Gary.
Yeah,
Jesus, get out of
how
here.
to underachieve. let me write you a 50-page
what
PDF
not
book.
to do?
Let me write you a PDF book on how to fail
and charge you $50 for it.
Wow, you guys are savage.
All right. Matt, your nightmare pick for the NFC North was?
My team was the Bears, and what nightmare pick I would have for them, it's getting Ashton Genty. He is going to be a field-tilting running back, and I'm happy with who the Bears have at running back. I just cannot... Giving them another weapon, Caleb Williams is going to benefit from Genty. The Bears' offensive line, and obviously the running room is going to benefit from him. That would be the worst-case scenario for me in the Packers if the Bears get Genty.
So for mine, I'm believing that I am very good at manifesting because apparently the guy that I don't want to go to the Vikings is most likely going to go to the Vikings unless they trade out of the first round to get more picks because I believe that they only have 4 picks this
draft.
They
are a team that's viewed as a top-notch or a top contender to trade back.
Yep. But I have Nick Emenwari. I think that's how you say his name. He is a safety out of South Carolina. I do not like this because I think Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator. I think a lot of his guys will succeed underneath him, a lot of the young guys. And
He's got a year to learn behind Hitman Harry.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. He has Harrison Smith to learn behind, who's turning 36 this year, I believe. So it's like he's on his way out. This guy comes in. I don't like it. Makes me nervous.
So those were
especially against our young wide receivers.
Nightmare picks. So worst case scenario for the Green Bay Packers, and worst case scenario for as a team for who they pick, and a worst case scenario for the Green Bay Packers as far as what would happen to the rest of the NFC North if these players, the players we just listed there, end up on an NFC North team. We're going to do dreams on the other side, which we're going to do best case scenario for the Green Bay Packers. Now remember, me as a Bears fan, I'm giving the pick that I want the Packers to take because I think it'll be an abject disaster. You will be giving positive picks to the Packers, and for the NFC North, we're going to give the picks all of us are going to say we want this player on said team because we think it'll be a failure outside of the Green Bay Packers. So before we get to that, I want you to chime in on the Cardinals Talking text line, 844-770-3776. Less is more. And we are asking a Siding Unlimited poll question. All the mock drafts are in for ESPN. Matt Miller, Mel Kiper. They did the Rob Domofsky NFC Nation one, and I think I'm missing another one there as well. But
Peter Schrager had his insider article.
Yes, his insider put out today. He only does one mock draft, new to ESPN, Peter Schrager. So we want to ask this question. Which player mocked to the Packers by ESPN would you like the most? And the options are?
So Matt Miller has Will Johnson in his latest mock draft at pick number 23. Rob Domofsky and Mel Kiper both have Shamar Stewart going to the Packers, and then Schrager released his mock draft today, having Matthew Golden to Green Bay.
And Golden is a wide receiver from Texas.
Correct.
Yep.
But more the
4.29.
Jaden Reed side. Or Jalen Reed side, excuse me, yeah.
5'10", ran a 4.29.
Yeah, a little more. I think the mold or the comp that I've seen a couple times for him is like the Tank Dell type role with the Houston Texans. Sort of the shorter but very quick, very agile field stretcher.
And I'm sorry, who did that pick?
That was Peter Schrager.
Okay. And Schrager now he could be viewed as more accurate than most because he only puts out one, but his is done with the most amount of research put in as far as late. So he is not necessarily picking on who he thinks they should pick. He's picking on what he's being told. Now, again, there's a lot of misinformation at this time as well, but that Golden one is interesting. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We'll do Dream Scenarios next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Medicine on YouTube.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
At Metro Florida Madison, you pay what employees pay. Customers pay employee pricing on all in-stock new Ford vehicles. This month, drive away in the 2025 Ford Explorer with financing as low as 5.9% for 72 months, $16.53 cost per thousand borrowed. Or get the 2024 Ford Mach-E with financing as low as 0.9% for 72 months, $14.27 cost per thousand borrowed. Hurry! These offers end April 30th. Head to Metro Florida Madison or visit metrofloridamadison.com today.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Chrissy Birdsall, Madison's best sports center anchor, in the Everlight Solar Studio with us as well. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. And you can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carlos Talking text line. Less is more. We do have a Siding Unlimited poll question that I want to get to here that is posted at ESPN Madison on Twitter. Which draft prospect mocked to the Packers by ESPN would you want the most? Will Johnson, cornerback Michigan, from Matt Miller. Shamar Stewart, defensive end / defensive lineman from Texas A&M, from Mel Kiper and Rob Domofsky. Or Matthew Golden, a wide receiver from Texas, mocked to the Packers by newly acquired Peter Schrager with ESPN. You want to answer that one first before we get the dream scenarios for the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North?
Let me pull it up here. Sorry.
Will Johnson, Shamar Stewart, Matthew Golden. Which one would you want on the Packers?
Will Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I land too.
Cornerback.
Second would be Matthew Golden, though.
Yep.
Basically, you don't want Stewart.
Basically, I'm very
anti-captain. Would you feel different if they
anti-captain.
didn't draft Lucas Van Ness 2 years ago?
Potentially, because it's like then there's not that person in between Rashawn Gary and him, potentially.
Right.
But I mean, but if you hear the stat that he only had 3.5 sacks in college, how can you be like, oh, I want that guy on my defensive line?
Let's go.
That sounds great.
Well, again, it goes to the idea that I'm not defending it if you didn't have Van Ness or like other guys who didn't come out. Or look, the Packers' defensive line has not been known as great development or stalwarts, and there's more questions with it. So I think it's very much team dependent. But Stewart, you look at it, his RAS score is through the roof, right up there with Micah Parsons, I believe. And then you have, which is the athleticism score that Goody's never heard of RAS, but he understands athleticism.
We don't believe in that.
But the other part of it is he's getting pressures. He's bursting through the and here's how it happens. You're a defensive coordinator or your defensive line coach and be like, okay, Shamar Stewart has all the athleticism in the world. He's putting in the work to have this freakish body. He's putting in the work to be able to get through the line. He just can't have the discipline, doesn't have the discipline to do the last little bit. Because tackling is harder than you think. You have to take the right angles. You have to make sure that you are working with your team. So he is getting pressures. He's not actually getting the TFLs. He has an incredibly high, 29% missed tackle rate or something like that. So you almost look at it and go, that is too high. If we can cut it down to 15, that'd be normal, and he'd be elite immediately. That's why you do it. For the Packers, it doesn't make sense. I would understand the Packer fans because you got Van Ness already, who is a nothing burger so far. And Rashawn Gary has underperformed his contract and draft position. He's not a bad player, but from what you thought the peak was going to be, you don't love it. But I mean, if I told you you could get Rashawn Gary and Shamar Stewart at the 23rd pick, you'd sign up immediately.
At 23, yeah, I'll probably take
But the most recent you got is Lucas Van Ness.
Like 12 or 13.
13.
Yeah.
So that's garbage.
On potential. And that's my thing. Is like I'm overdrafting on potential.
But then here's the other part of it is that like there is like a cost of doing business because the Packers have reached in the teens for players who either haven't developed or didn't develop all the way. do you then decide an opportunity cost to not do it again when it makes more sense to take a reach on a guy in 23? Think of like the Bucks with Giannis, obviously the best reach in sports when the NBA draft. You reach, you kind of pull a guy like, hey, we're just going to take a flyer on the traits of this player because we're not going to get a star otherwise. You're not normally going to end up with a star at 23. But the problem is the Packers have taken one underperformer and one dud so far in the teens as players who are going to develop. And so I think,
so
how many of them do you have
change
on your
your
team?
technique. That's what I'm saying. It's like you've taken 2 swings and you're 0-2 in the count right now, taking edge rushers.
But I think Goody has a lot of pride. I think that's what it always comes back to is Brian Gutekunst has a lot of pride.
Totally agree with that.
Let's get to our dream draft scenarios for the Green Bay Packers and then the NFC North.
Draft week is here.
Do you remember the last time the Green Bay Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round of the draft?
The sleepless nights will come to an end.
Maybe that streak comes to an end.
For better or for worse.
Take the best player available if that's possible. At the end of the day, you better be prepared to pick a player.
Sometimes I still dream of glory, Dick.
Well, sometimes dreams can turn into nightmares, Lou.
What's your problem?
Is this draft going to be a nightmare or the draft of our dreams?
So, as Jim was saying, we want to each give our dream draft picks for the Green Bay Packers. Molly Brown, why don't you start us off? This is your dream draft pick for the Green Bay Packers. As a Packers fan, who do you want to see them getting at number 23?
I agree with Matt Miller, and I'm saying Will Johnson. I think they need a corner. They need multiple corners, and he is the name that excites me the most in that position.
So, is there any concern with you? Because the reason that he would slip is because he only played 6 games last year, elite in them, and then hasn't been healthy enough, whether it's the hamstring or the toe, to be able to put up, combine numbers or pro day numbers. Is that a red flag for you that maybe he wouldn't be ready to play right away?
So
sometimes when you draft players who are injured, they don't show up right away, or they have to start the year on IR. And I don't know how injured he is, but there is definitely a question mark there because he's a borderline blue chip prospect that if he falls to 23, there are true injury concerns.
That is concerning, and obviously having somebody like a Jair, who's obviously missed so many parts of the season the last how many years due to injuries, I don't love it. But I think if you're also looking at the upside of what he could be, that's super exciting.
I love the size. He's 6'2".
Yeah.
Right? Like a big corner. Haven't really had that in Green Bay for a while. I think Jair's
what, like 5'10"?
5'10".
5'11" on a good day.
And
on the stat sheet, he's 5'11".
Yeah, exactly.
Matt?
I did have Will Johnson as well, just because he's one of the top corner prospects. There is a guy from Kentucky, though.
Hairston.
Yes. So, since you said Will Johnson, I was going to mix it up.
Okay.
What was his name?
Maxwell Hairston.
Maxwell Hairston. Obviously, it's just a position of need. He's not as big as Will Johnson, but, you don't have to be a giant at corner to be successful. That's just really the biggest position of need I want. So, since I did not do any research into him, I'm not going to pretend like I did, but corner outside of Will Johnson, that's what I'm taking.
I think even just last week I saw some and I know that all these mock drafts are whatever, but I believe that he, in one of them, I can't remember whose it was, but just like a week or two ago, he was predicted to go to the Packers. So it could happen.
Yeah. Field Yates was on Jane Gabe and Chewy last Friday. Actually compared him to Jair Alexander coming out of college.
That's fun.
Take that.
Speed-wise, size, weight, he's similar profile overall. So
there you go.
If you want the next Jair, maybe it's a guy from Kentucky instead of Louisville coming out of the draft. All right, Jim.
Yes.
As a Bears fan, what is your dream draft pick?
Ted McMillan. He seems like someone that is boom or bust as a wide receiver. And the Packers, Jaden Reed has he really made a big jump? Romeo Doubs made a big jump. Christian Watson made a big jump. Like, their development of receivers is fair to be like, all right, do they get the most out of them? Are they maximizing their ability? Christian Watson has never reached his potential. Reed is a good player, but not great. So McMillan, and then also Jordan Love, and Wildy talked about this, and apparently according to Jordan's own admission, being someone that has to be a taskmaster and kind of get caught up in the minutia and kind of be in someone's business all the time, which Ted McMillan sounds like he might need in the film room and that sort of stuff. That's not Jordan Love's strength. So I think that would be a recipe of not getting the most out of McMillan. I don't think he'd be horrible, but I just think that he could be like the next Christian Watson. And so, which is fine, but like Christian Watson was a second-round pick, and Christian Watson's not a world beater and probably won't get a fifth year, or probably won't get a contract extension for the Packers.
You're probably right.
So I'll take that. All right, let's get to the dream scenario for the rest of the NFC North. I am going to have the Bears. Molly, we'll go to you, though. You have the Vikings.
Yes, my dream scenario for the Minnesota Vikings, don't hate on me, guys, but Tyler Shuck. And the reason I say this,
Wait, how are you but like you have to do something real.
What do you mean? How is that not real?
Why
He's
would
like isn't he like projected to be one of the higher up quarterbacks to get picked?
But they have JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if I would love it if the Minnesota Vikings just had
It
like
is a dream after all.
an
But
odd.
that one's like
no, I
insane.
understand,
That's like
but
your
like
high.
no, honestly though, I couldn't figure out somebody that I would love to go to the Vikings. It was very tough. Like I'm going through and I'm like. I couldn't pick something, but in my mind, I'm like, how awesome would it be for them to have like a total quarterback debacle going on? Who knows if Aaron Rodgers is going to go there? Who knows what JJ McCarthy's going to be? Tyler Shuck, he's like climbing up the draft board too. So I don't know.
What about like just trading back? Like, hey, they won't get a star player. And
Well,
like,
I thought we had to pick a player though.
I don't know.
Because that was the thing. I was
you
like,
pick a player,
everything that I read was saying that they're gonna like most likely trade back because they need picks.
Shuck in that position is not insane, but Shuck to the Vikings is. I mean, you might as well say, I don't.
That's why it'd be awesome because it would cause chaos.
I would.
I would
That'd
love
be
for
like a
that
blown
organization
pick.
to collapse.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Fair point.
Fair. I mean, you said dream scenario.
No,
That's
but we
Molly's
did
dream
say
scenarios.
we
Like,
did
double
put
down.
the parameters that you
I
had to be
understand.
somewhat
Okay, but
logical.
so who? I'm just curious. Who were your guys' dream
Mine
picks for the
wasn't great.
Vikings? I'm just curious.
And they weren't
because I
great.
don't know how to think about it.
It was hard. Mine was Trey Amos, who is like the third or fourth corner in this and could be a good player. I don't know. I just picked a guy. I was like, it is harder. I agree with you. I just picked a name. Like
and
I just picked Trey
see,
Amos.
see, corner. I think of it in the same way that I said with Nick Enamori. Emenwari. Where I'm like, Brian Flores is a kick-ass defensive coordinator. Anybody that goes there is going to be successful, in my opinion. Like, I really think that.
I want to point this out. I did give Matt
What about a wide receiver?
See,
like
that
it's
would've
already
been
a crowded wide receiver room. A lot of
But
stars there.
knowing a wide receiver going to the Vikings, he's going to be awesome because that's just what happens.
The only position you're
The
confident
only
with-
position that they have issues with is their freaking quarterbacks. Their tight ends are great. Look at TJ Hawkinson.
So Matt did ask this question because he was struggling with it too, and I said, when he was thinking about it, now he's not going to end up with the Bears, but it was more of like pick up, the Bears don't need offensive linemen. They wouldn't come in and start right away. So he just picked someone that would be a bench player immediately. So that could have been, that's why I think he mentioned a wide receiver to you of like, all right, this player is probably a bit player in year one.
Fair.
But all
But
right.
if they're learning from Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, like the chances are that they're going to be a good wide receiver. And that's
Vikings
the problem.
fan over here.
Yeah.
All right.
I know a lot about the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, the
unfortunately.
Detroit Lions, Matt, is your team.
I wasn't the Bears?
No.
Oh my gosh, why was I spending the whole time looking up the
You
Bears?
didn't do any other. Everyone else did. You know what, Matt? Again, you were
Well,
told
to be
this last
fair-
week Thursday, and I'm the
I
only
did
one
the
that emailed
Bears
it in.
for they were my like the
Ryan-
dream,
Ryan-
the
But
But
nightmare.
this was Jim's dream as he's talking about his team. Makes sense.
And Matt's the one that, and Ryan's the one that applied it. But Matt, again, you were told this last Thursday. We were emailed last Friday.
You were
like,
texted about it this morning.
You were given
he thought
plenty
it
of
was,
time.
he thought it was spam.
Yeah, clearly.
Fishing.
It wasn't about snacks.
I mean,
He only replies for the food.
yeah, exactly.
The spam. Give me spam is what Matt Hamilton said.
Well, we could probably apply Calvin Banks there as well. Their offensive line is solid. Like, is he going to be a good player in the NFL? Most likely, but he's probably going to have a bit role for his first year, so he's not going to be an immediate year one impact player. And that's really all you can ask for.
And then I was given the Chicago Bears, Ashton Genty. And honestly, at this point, with the, I don't want to say by any means necessary to reference draft day, but I kind of just want Ashton Genty on the Bears. I'm not going to be like distraught if they don't get him, but if they trade up to 5 for Jacksonville and are able to at least do a trade where they're trading up 10 to 5, and then basically what I've seen is they'd have to give up Carolina's pick. So then in theory they got Ashton Genton, Caleb Williams, Darnell Wright for Bryce Young. But otherwise, if you're giving up that pick, and then the idea is that the Bears would get back like a 4th or a 5th rounder, like if you did the draft value trade chart. And I've heard rumors that the draft, people are not trying to trade up that much, so the cost trading up could be lower this year, slightly discounted this year because more teams want to trade down than trade up. So if the Bears are able to get a trade up to get Ashton Genty, one of the 3 or 4 blue chip prospects in this draft, without paying an exorbitant amount, I'm okay with it. They have 2 second-round picks. So if they get one of the second-round picks and then they get a pick back in the 4th or the 5th, they can still add a project player in the back end of it. So I'm kind of good, Genty, no matter what.
Wow. I mean, I don't blame you. That's who I would want if I was in the Bears.
Yeah, I just think that they're not a player away, but the development of Caleb Williams is the most important thing. They spent the offensive line. They spent money on the offensive line, and look how, Jordan Love has benefited from Aaron Jones and then now Josh Jacobs and running and just having that offense based around the run. And I think that Caleb will benefit dramatically from that too.
I mean, look at Hurts.
Yeah, Hurts as well.
Oh my gosh,
Wins a Super Bowl.
Sam Darnold, even an older player, but had Aaron Jones and who was the other running back for the Vikings. But regardless, they had Aaron Jones. They had a good running back there.
You could even look at Brock Purdy and be like, they have had solid running backs for him.
Yes. So why not make life a little easier for Caleb? Hopefully he won't need it for long. But to start off, why not do that? You guys got to get out of here, though. Because we're going to do Minute to Win It, presented by our good friends at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 3 locations in the Madison area. You got DeForest, you got Madison, and you have Verona. You can dine in, you can carry out, you can have it delivered. So many great options with our good friends. You're also going to have them cater at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Alrighty, what's the category?
Did you sense a little bit of attitude as they left the room today, Jim? I mean, I feel like Molly is upset with your Tyler Shuck pick.
That was what are we doing here? That's her fault.
But it's true. If it's a dream scenario for the Vikings having
but we did set parameters.
We tried to. Well, hey, at least she read the text message. She knew which team she was drafting for.
Matt, yeah.
Anywho,
why do we plan anything out ever? Because this was planned out forever ago.
Honestly, I thought the nightmares draft scenarios went perfectly. Even though they were nightmares for the Green Bay Packers. But anyways, we are talking about the NFL draft, and it's almost 100% certainty that Cam Ward will join the annals of NFL history when he is the first overall pick in this year's draft. Because those guys, they go down in history whether they're good or bad. So I want to see and test Matt and Molly's NFL draft history knowledge.
Okay.
Who are the last 10 first overall picks in the NFL draft? What do we want to set this over under, Jim?
They're such babies.
But these are players who, even if they go on and they don't have much of a career, they stick in your mind almost forever.
I agree. I almost wanted to do quarterbacks. That's what I thought you were going to do.
No, that would last 10 quarterbacks.
No, last 10 first overall quarterbacks.
That would be tough. That would be pretty tough.
I mean, Cam,
not for you. Okay,
Cam and Caleb right off the top there.
Okay, that's true.
Matthew Stafford's probably in there as well.
I don't know if he'd be last 10 though.
There hasn't been a ton of them.
You hear that? You hear that timer?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton is one of them.
Yeah. Then you'd have. Let's see here. Bryce Young.
Bryce Young would be one.
Then you'd go to first overall picks. Not Josh Allen, Seattle, Miami. No. Now I got to think of players who are bad, who are not in the league.
It's not as easy when the cat got through the gun, right, Jim?
True. No, I agree. I'm not. I also.
Baker Mayfield will be one.
Yeah, there you go. Baker's a good one too. So, anyways, but let's do the last 10 first overall picks. 4.5.
4.5 is very fair.
Okay.
And we'll do caller number 2, caller number 3. Packers got the 23rd overall pick in this year's draft.
All right, caller number 2 and caller number 3. You're at least going to get You're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. If you pick the right over/under, you'll get a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. So caller number 2, 844-770-3776. You're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We don't speak about her.
About rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. The chance to live out a dream. Wisconsin's Jack Nelson hoping to get his shot in the NFL. The tackle on his growth during his 4 seasons as a Badger.
I learned to be a leader. I learned to deal with the ups and downs. I knew that, I learned to deal deal that everything's not going to be perfect. You're going to have a bad play. I learned to play a bunch of different styles of football, a bunch of different techniques. I had 4 line coaches, and now sitting here, I think I'm an experienced, tough, durable, and better player with my poise.
Catch Nelson's full interview on the latest episode of The Jump Around, streaming on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
She didn't beg, or not enough. She didn't stay when things got tough. I told a lie, she got mad.
Phish Friday on a Wednesday, because we're not on the air the next 2 days. We will have ESPN Wisconsin's draft coverage. I am part of the show on Friday with Alex Stroh. Maybe Matt Hamilton is joining me that day. I don't know. Molly Brown, you're on the show tomorrow. With Alex Stroh, 12 to 2.
Noon to 2, yep.
So we've been bumped.
Yeah.
People don't like us, apparently.
Yeah.
If you have complaints, send them directly to Jesse Nelson. 844-770-3776.
I thought you were going to dox him and give out his personal number. I was like, whoa! Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Okay. The fact that you
Also
think I
illegal.
know Jesse Nelson's number is absolutely hilarious to me. It might be in my phone, or it could just be.
You don't even have it saved.
It's just maybe Jesse. There's a good chance it's just maybe Jesse. So, yeah, I couldn't dox him if I wanted to, Molly. We are in the Everlight Solar studio. We are presented by Coors Light. By we, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you, Chrissy Birdsall, Madison's great Sports Center Ankle, and primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. And we're going to get to Minute to Win It right now.
Will they beat the odds
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
Yeah, guys, Jim and I were talking in the break, and Jim actually assigned himself a tougher category today, so be glad that we're not doing that one. But I figured since it seems like we all already know that Cam Ward's going to be the first overall pick tomorrow, I figured he will be entering the annals of NFL history of the all-time first overall picks.
Ah, crap.
So, guys, who are the last 10 first overall draft picks in the NFL? Your timer starts now.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is one of them. That is correct. Drafted 2021.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, first overall pick last year, 2024.
Was Jalen Hurts one?
Jalen Hurts?
No.
Oh, no, he was, never mind. That was who Packers should have got. Help me.
I can't help you.
Okay,
This
go.
fast?
I'm not,
All right, that's a pass. That's an incorrect
Oh,
answer.
no.
Yes. Get 2 wrong answers left.
Yeah, I know. I'm so struggling on.
Really?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud.
No.
No.
CJ
He was
Stroud was the
after. He
second
was
overall.
second.
Wait, it was his turn. It wasn't. That wasn't even.
Yeah.
You penalized for jumping
I'm
your turn.
literally thinking of quarterbacks.
I know.
It doesn't
I'm
have
just
to be
trying to come-
quarterbacks.
I know it
but
doesn't.
they seem it's typical. It should be easier, but it's not.
It's way easier than you're making it.
I get stressed out.
Yeah, I'm stressed out right now too. Obviously. So last year was Caleb. The year before that was it a quarterback?
I honestly can't remember back
I know.
that long ago.
Bryce Young.
There you go. Bryce Young, the 2023 first overall pick.
This time thing has got to go.
That-
We got to
No.
up it to like 2 minutes to win it.
Good Lord.
It's the time.
Boring
The
to
time
sin.
makes me
We want to
stressed.
hear 2 people, him and Hogg, get the wrong answers even longer?
No.
I mean, come
See, I
on,
think if we had
guys.
more time.
Or if we could collaborate and go like final answer.
You can do that, but you eat your time. You still get a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we should get 2 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we can
Oh
we
my
can
goodness.
babble between us.
Nobody
now. Okay.
stopped you from babbling between you. Just one of you had to give the answer.
I'm still trying to think of who like the first overall. I'm trying to think of like horrible teams.
Well, there are 2
The
teams in here.
Jaguars?
Yeah.
The Jaguars, yes. Who did they pick the year after Trevor Lawrence? The Jaguars. Yeah, the first overall pick again in 2022. That would be Trayvon Walker, defensive
Wouldn't
end
have
out
gotten
of
that.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Not a
It was
chance.
him or Aiden Hutchinson that year. That was a big debate. Okay, and then the year before was Trevor Lawrence. You guys got Caleb Williams. I'm shocked it took you as long as it did to get Bryce Young
Yeah.
as well. 'Cause
I'm a
you're
little
like,
upset by
who
it,
was
too.
the quarterback
Just
they
like
took the year
that
before?
Taylor Swift song. I forgot that you Wiggs is dead. Like that's how I
Clearly.
feel about him.
Basically.
So.
Well, I
Clearly.
mean, being the first quarterback off the board hasn't been a great thing as of late. A lot
Oh
of
yeah,
the-
so Joe Burrow hasn't had a good career when
Oh,
he was
Joe
drafted
Burrow.
in 2020.
Forgot about German.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at all the other stars that get.
So the year before him in 2019 it was Kyler Murray. Year before that was
Okay,
Baker
he
Mayfield.
popped in my head, but I was like, that feels too long
And
ago.
again, Kyler Murray, and I don't know what the other guys did. Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield are good NFL starting quarterbacks.
Honestly,
Yeah.
most of these are pretty good NFL
Baker Mayfield's on
starting
this list?
quarterbacks.
Yep.
Baker, yeah, he was drafted
wow,
first overall. by
it just
Cleveland.
feels like so much longer ago than
2018. I mean, it's
Almost 10
Wow.
years.
4 teams ago, right? Because he went to the Panthers, he went to the Rams, now Bugs. So 3 teams ago. Yeah. All right. Well, then before him, it was once again the Cleveland Browns taking Myles Garrett in 2017.
Myles Garrett. I probably could have pulled that one out.
And then I don't know if you noticed a trend, but a lot of quarterbacks on this list. In 2016, the Rams took Jared Goff. Remember that?
Wow.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
totally
That's way
forgot
too
Jared
long.
Goff was a first-round draft pick.
First
So that
overall.
feels like he's
overall.
been in the league for like 15 years at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then before him, talk about guys who are worn, weary veterans of the NFL. The 2015 first overall pick, the greatest backup perhaps in NFL history, Jameis Winston.
Oh my gosh.
I
we
thought you were
went
going to say
all the way
Kurt
back.
Benker.
Kurt Becker. I mean, I said greatest. Come on.
Jameis
All right.
Winston was on this list. See, that was never going that far back in my brain.
4.5. 4.5, guys.
Yeah,
Can we
that
tell
was
you what we were
over-under.
preparing for,
We
though?
got 3.
Yeah, because when I started
That's
saying
not
it,
good.
when I started
We
saying
looked
it,
at each other.
yeah, Molly, I could tell was smirking at Matt, and she was like, "Oh, she's feeling really good." When I started bringing up Cam Ward's name, so it was a top 10 overall, like
We thought
ranked
it was
picks.
We
The
thought it
last
was 10
first round picks for the Packers.
How would you have done?
Great, because we studied.
We got them all.
Matt's got bad short-term memory. He would have gotten everyone.
No,
like a
Molly
goldfish.
would have been able to help me. And honestly, obviously, I would have done better at that. Even before looking at it, I think I would have done okay.
Yeah. I mean, because we were naming them off in the hallway. We were doing pretty good. What was your category?
The hardest part is trying to go back like 9 or 10
What
years.
did I throw out?
Yeah, because you said he said it was harder. What were you
I did
thinking?
quarterbacks. And by the way, he just threw a clock on me, and I think I did 4 or 5. He's like, it's harder with a clock.
In
So
30 seconds.
In 30 seconds.
Because he was doing last 10 quarterbacks who were drafted first overall, which is most of the list, to be honest, other than Myles Garrett.
Because that's where I thought he was going to go when he said it.
Interesting.
It wouldn't have made a major difference, but.
Not really.
Who votes for 2 minutes to win it? Me? Not you?
No. I can only stand
that's
1
dumb.
minute of trauma.
I already don't like trivia.
So literally, like I said, I start
Gentle
sweating.
Jim.
I get the cold sweats. I get like clammy hands.
How
All
about
the
you
things.
just you be better?
I have stage fright.
I think you guys just need to lean into we're idiots.
The line was 4.5 out of 10 for the first overall pick
The
over the last
highest-
10 years. It's not high.
The highest the line should be for anything is about 3.5.
Yeah.
Anything above
what
that,
did you do
we're
today?
out.
3?
Yeah.
You're still under.
I know, but it would have been a good line.
4.5 is a good line. Come on, people think people are gonna think you're idiots if I can't say
We
that.
all
4.5.
kind of idiots.
Top
Jim.
10.
That was a whole 10 years ago. That was so long
Like you said,
ago.
he has the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah.
How was he
And
supposed to remember 10 years
you
ago?
remember
Honestly,
first-round picks
this
all
has
the way
nothing
back?
this has nothing to Matt. Just hold on a second. I'm not mad at you, Molly.
You're
but
disappointed.
I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
this guy
Dad.
doesn't know anything.
Yeah. There's an expectation for
This
me.
guy,
fair.
we're counting on 1 from him.
See, but here's the
So
thing.
if I'm lowering expectations, it's your expectation.
We should balance each other out because he loves performing in front of a crowd. Me, not so much. That
Yeah.
drains my bucket. We all know that. So it should balance.
It
but
should.
So I
how's
want to
Matt?
ask.
How's Matt about to do in the Sports Center update?
I'm going to
coming up?
crush this.
Yeah.
I want to throw a poll question out
Delegate it to Ryan.
that
He's
we'll
gonna be the
answer on
best
the
one
other
he's ever
side.
had.
And I am 100% stealing this from Dan Schaefer on Twitter. He's a good follow.
good job giving credit.
Absolutely.
We don't all do that.
I don't want to get doxxed here. Everyone get all mad at me. Dan Schaefer, follow him. Dan R. Schaefer online. He had this question for the group. What quintessentially Wisconsin activity should national media members in town do for the NFL draft? 844-770-3776. Chime in on that.
Easy.
Basically,
They can't go to a Packers game.
so there's, I'll just throw some out there. Pasta board, meat raffle, cheese curds, fish fry, polka. There's a lot of good ones in there.
Does everything revolve around food?
Yeah, we're a bunch of fatties here. This is Jim Matt Live, presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, Bucks in 6 is on its last legs after they fell down 0-2 in their series versus the Pacers last night, losing 123-115. Is the Bucks' first game back with star point guard Damian Lillard, who put up 14 points and actually cut the game to 2 points with just over 2.5 minutes remaining. But Bucks unable to claw their way back in last night's game. Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers, Wisconsin native as well, had a little bit to say about the chippiness in this series after the first 2 outings.
It's just competition at the end of the day. But yeah, we don't have to sit here and act like, it's any secret. We don't like them. They don't like us. And that's just what it is. And they live for this. We live for this. So, I could care less. I'm out here just trying to help my team win games. So there's got to be a little bit of back and forth. There's got to be a little back and forth. But I'm here to win.
Series comes back to Milwaukee on Friday night. And before that game starts, the NFL Draft is coming to the city of Green Bay. ESPN Wisconsin has you covered all week from up outside Lambeau Field. Willie and Tauscher 9 to noon tomorrow, and full live coverage of Round 1 starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow night right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's
let
gonna
me get
swing
this
on
right.
Jim.
He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other. I guarantee we're going to come out of the draft, and I'm not going to think that we are like leaps and bounds better. I just don't feel like Goody hits the home runs that merit holding on to draft picks like they're absolute gold.
Literally everything comes back to, do you actually trust him with draft picks?
I do think there was times, okay, maybe we have a few players to pick and we were looking to move back.
Do you remember the last time the Green Bay Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round of the draft? 23 years ago. Maybe that streak comes to an end.
I would love to see the Packers go 110% all in.
Is there a position, is there a player who will make Packer fans say, yeah?
And maybe someone like Matthew Golden from Texas jumps him, Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State.
A professional receiver.
I think he could fall to 23.
Texas A&M edge, Shamar Stewart, the workout, the Underwear Olympics star.
See, so what makes me excited about that is...
Underwear Olympics?
Yes, Underwear Olympics. Actually, Captain Underpants is what I'm going to call him if they do end up getting him.
Perfect.
That'd be perfect.
God, I want that pick.
What? You're
And some will say, okay.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
Primetime Warshon behind the glass. Prime, I'm going to ask you a question on the air that I should ask during the break.
Yeah.
How much time we got here? Because we're at Mark Tauscher coming up at 5:15.
I was going to say we should probably wrap it up here quickly, but why don't we get some of the options out for our poll question? What's the one quintessentially Wisconsin
Well, then
thing?
make sure to give credit to Dan R.
Dan
Schaefer on
Dan
Twitter.
R.
I did
Schaefer.
retweet him saying I'm stealing this.
You retweeted him.
I did
Okay.
retweet him, so you can find it.
Yes,
But then
perfect.
make sure to credit him on it.
All right, so what are our options?
So we'll get the options right now. But first, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Chrissy Birdsall in here as well, Madison's best sports center anchor. And Primetime Warshon behind the glass stole this question. We can make it a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit wordy for radio. Dan R. Schaefer on Twitter asked the question, what quintessentially Wisconsin activities should national media members in town do or partake in for the NFL draft? And so 844-770-3776. That's the Carbus Talking text line. List is more. We'll give you an opportunity right now to chime in on that. And then after that, we will maybe throw our owns in there. But AC and Tosa chimes in. Cheese curds while axe throwing. That's a good one. And AC and Tosa heading up to the NFL draft. Maybe we'll see you up there, AC. Is eating cheese curds like an activity? Is it like do we just call that a Wisconsin, like you got to have an old-fashioned with cheese curds and a fish fry? Like do we want to make that one thing?
No, that's not one thing. I mean...
Because like if you go to if you go to like basically if you go to a supper club, you can experience the old-fashioned cheese curds and fish fry.
Yeah, I'd say supper club is, if it's going to be on the poll for us, I think that should be the
I like
option
that
rather
option.
than just cheese curds.
Okay, so let's just make it a supper club.
Supper club.
I think I'll give this one for my brother, who's a professional at this. Pull tabs.
Is that just a Wisconsin thing?
I never knew what they
Minnesota
were until
does it.
like a couple years ago when I went to a bar here.
I don't think that's just a Wisconsin
I think it's
thing. though.
I think it's a very much Wisconsin.
Well, it kind of goes along with the culture of going out, having yourself a dive bar beer or old
Could you put a
That's
dive
fine,
bar?
That's fine. We'll go bar dice.
Okay.
Bar dice is more Wisconsin than pull tabs.
Really?
Again,
To me, these are just things you do at the bar.
these are things I've never seen in like Florida
I
or
don't
other
see
places.
bar
I've gone.
dice very often outside of Wisconsin.
Same.
That's
Anywhere
for
I've
sure.
gone, I've not seen bar dice. So we'll go with bar dice. So we got bar dice. We have supper club. 844-770-3776. Bill and Madison chimes in. Supper club fish fry. I think we'll keep it vague, so we'll just go supper club. But so we got supper club.
Because
and
if
we got,
they go like on a Thursday or Friday or Thursday for the prime rib, or
yeah,
Saturday.
but also we can kind of.
yum.
But also supper club allows you to hit if you want to
Fish
do the
fry.
cheese
Yeah.
curd, old fashioned
Yeah, you can get
fish
the-
fry thing, and
the
then
whole
just
shebang.
be ill for a week. But it's worth it.
It is worth it.
Brat fry? What do you have?
Ooh, gotta have a good brat.
Meat raffle?
You're right. You're right next to the curling club up in Green Bay. I say go curling.
That's not gonna be on the list.
It should be, but
What about
that is pretty quintessential. We have the most
Minnesota's-
curling clubs of any other state.
I don't know. I think of Minnesota.
Even
I think of
Minnesota?
curling.
29 curling clubs in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Most curling clubs in any state.
Kind of like how the lakes are.
How many Olympic curlers does Minnesota have compared to Wisconsin on the Team Schuster?
3 to 1.
Yes. Shout out Matt Hamilton.
That's why he's the best.
I mean, do we want
Who's the most notable one? Am I right?
Good point. Good point, Molly.
Meat raffle has to be on there, right?
I've never gone to. I've literally.
Oh my gosh, meat raffles are fantastic. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the dive bar vibe though. Like you say bar dice, like you just say dive bar,
See, that's
and
what
you
I
can
think.
catch a meat raffle. You can catch
But like,
some dice.
is Wisconsin? Because if we want to do it like that, we could get curling on there. We just go dive bar experience.
That's kind of what I would say because
But then
each dive bar has its own.
Is curling truly a quintessential Wisconsin thing?
No, it's not. It's just, I mean, for me it is.
Is there something like outdoorsy, like for people to do?
Not in April. Not necessarily.
No, but we're saying we're doing quintessential Wisconsin things in general, though. Like
tailgate,
Door County,
sledding.
Can you tailgate the draft?
Tailgate. No,
you
we
can
don't
totally tailgate.
We don't have to.
You
go,
can do that anywhere, but let's be real.
well,
Wisconsin just does it best.
We can put an asterisk next to it. We can go instead of media, we'll ask for visiting fans.
Mm-hmm.
So
You don't think media would like to go hang out at a tailgate?
they got a job to do?
I mean, yeah, but we're sending them to a bar. Like they have a job to do.
Yeah, but they got to go
You
eat.
could go to a bar at night. Tailgate, you're tailgating before the draft.
Yeah, fair.
Leads to like you're tailgating before your job. Now, some of us, Matt Hamilton, might do that, but the rest of us can't tailgate before their job.
Tailgate for this show all the time. I'm sitting in the parking lot across the street, grill in the trunk.
I don't want to like
6 hot dogs before we come do the show.
Munching on a
You
All
kidding
right.
me?
We got.
How do you get amped to
we
do
got,
the show?
we got
Just guzzling glizzies, baby.
double fisting glizzies.
Yeah.
With Coors Light.
You guys don't do that?
Yeah, Molly joined me today.
Wow.
I'm a bottomless pit.
I'm a bottomless
Were you guys like?
No, I didn't.
Were you guys like the fans of the Cubs game, or how were you guys eating those glizzies?
No, we each had our own hot dog.
So were you feeding it to each other though, like as you're guzzling glizzies? Like,
Yeah, it was, you know how like when people like wrap arms with the champagne?
well, like a cartoon, like a machine.
Yeah.
So we got the dive.
How do
bar.
you eat hot dogs?
I was doing the Heisman pose with a hot dog to
exactly.
you.
Any hot dog could be a one biter. You just gotta try harder.
Dive bar experience.
That's my motto. My motto for a marriage.
There you go.
Look, marriage tips from Molly Brown are brought to you by our good friends at Zoa Energy. Molly, why don't you tell us about that?
Oh, you guys know that I love my Zoa energy. I have a twins and a toddler, so I need all the energy that I can get. Zoa gives me the perfect boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. And the best part about it is that Zoa is packed with natural ingredients like caffeine from green coffee and green tea, fueling both my workouts and my busy work days. Plus, the flavors are amazing. I love the wild orange flavor. And I feel so good knowing it's all about clean energy. Pick up some Zoa for yourself. Head over to zoaenergy.com to learn more. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like the Dam Bar, Caribou Tavern, Rips Bar, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance Team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
I don't know if I'd agree with that, Jim Rutledge.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
We are thrilled to be joined by Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher here on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio with Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge, Christy Birdsall, Madison's best sports center anchor in here as well. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. And Mark, it's draft week, but I saw this question on Twitter, and I want to lead with this because it's a good one from Dan R. Schaefer. He basically asked, what should visiting media members, but you could do this for out-of-state fans, what quintessential Wisconsin thing would you tell them they have to do? And we've been trying to nail it down a little bit. Like supper club, that would include like the old-fashioned fish fry and cheese curds, kind of put it all in one. Then we could go with like the dive bar experience, which would be, bar dice,
pull tabs,
things like that. Another option was meat raffle. Do you have an option out there that if someone's visiting from out of state that they should try as a quintessential Wisconsin thing?
So I guess the question I have is, do bratwurst and as far as a tailgate, is that something everybody does now?
I think a brat fry. I think a brat fry could be a little different. I think that's a little different. That's a good one. That few people threw out a brat fry.
I think like cookout though, in general. Just like I think with Wisconsin being in the north and we only have so much time to like cook outside, I think we kind of go over the top with it. I know,
but you could go to like the Bears. There's people grilling them.
Yeah.
I mean the Lambeau Field's better. But I'm saying that's the brat fry is more rare. I think.
Sure.
I would think that there's a couple of things. I think all three are good options that people would like. But yeah, I think supper clubs and you can really cover all your bases, especially the fact that there's a draft on a Friday night where you can get the fish fry, you can have the old fashioned, you can do that whole gambit, kind of covering all your bases. So, and there's plenty of really good supper clubs up in the greater Fox Valley area. So I think that would be the thing. If you really want to get a vibe on Wisconsin, that would probably be right at the top of the list for me.
Tausch, I don't want to misquote you, but I was listening to Willie and Tausch yesterday, and I believe that you said that you believe that GMs draft to win championships. And I'm curious, do you think that Brian Gutekunst does this? And correct me if I got that wrong.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. The question I had, and it was more today, so I don't remember yesterday as well, Molly, as you probably do. But are the ingredients that Brian Gutekunst put together, is that good enough for the chef to make a great meal that can win a championship? That was kind of the point. I think the issue you have, and why I like having a coach and a GM and not be the same person, is you have to, as a coach, you're only caring about the next week, the next day. You're not looking long-term, and you can get old quick, and things can be short-sighted. And I do think that Brian Gutekunst is looking ahead and saying, well, we have 3 offensive linemen that are going to be free agents. Probably need to address that, even though I think the glaring need would say, well, you need a wideout, you need a corner. And I think you have to have that holistic picture in order to keep a championship window open as long as you can. And I think the big criticism that a lot of Packer fans have about Brian Gutekunst is that you never really just go. And you never rip it wide open and say, let it go. And then you maybe have some downtime where you are in a position where you're not going to be as good. And I think that's where Brian Gutekunst has looked at it and has always tried to stock it. And then if there are some holes or some spots that really need to be addressed, he goes into the free agency window. And that's why I think he has put his team in positions more often than not to be a championship caliber team.
Tausch, we've been talking a lot about like nightmare and dream scenario picks for the Packers, and I kind of want to get your take on it. Who would be a nightmare realistically that you would not want to see on the Packers, and who are you kind of pulling for best case
and Mark,
scenario?
Matt wasn't here last week when we asked you that question, but go ahead.
I wasn't.
I swear, again, you guys are really testing my memory. I swore we had this exact
mock drafts change all the time. You can change this.
I feel like Jim corrected somebody corrected my pronunciation
Prime time
of that quarterback.
Yep.
Schluck or Shuck. Yeah, I don't want him.
Yep.
I don't want a quarterback early. I don't. That's the only thing, and it wouldn't be a nightmare per se, but it would be, I don't know what the hell we're doing. That would be the case where what is going on if you see someone like that, especially, and it doesn't even have to be at 23. It could be in the second round and maybe even the third round. If any of that happens before Saturday, I would really be wondering, like, what are we doing here? So that would be the only place that I would probably look at it and say, well, what the heck is going on? And as far as where we're at and who we're thinking, I feel like in listening to Goody, at whether he's on a different podcast or if he's just talking to the media like he did Monday, it does feel like wide receiver is going to be in play. And I don't know, especially if Sanders doesn't get picked and there's only one quarterback, I don't know if those 3 or 4 wideouts that have that high grade, if they're going to be available to Green Bay. It's always nice when you have a quarterback to see a quarterback-heavy draft at the top, which this draft does not feel like it is. So that's where I would love to see a dynamite wideout drop to 23 and come in and make that immediate impact. That would be probably the dream scenario for me as a Packer fan.
And Mark, following up with that, we did have a question out here as far as which draft prospect, and we'll give you some options here, mocked to the Packers by ESPN in the most recent mock drafts. Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan. Matt Miller mocked him to the Green Bay Packers. He said that he might fall because of injury concerns. Shamar Stewart, Mel Kiper, Rod Domofsky have him going to the Packers. One of those, as Molly would call, a Captain Underpants, the winner of the Underwear Olympics. And then Matthew Golden from Peter Schrager, wide receiver from Texas. Which one of those three would you like to see on the Packers out of those who are mocked by ESPN prognosticators?
Yeah, Golden. I think the wideout, I think he's from Texas.
Yep.
I think the fastest wideout in the draft. And obviously with Christian Watson, Lord knows when he's going to be back, if it's going to be November or whatever it's going to be coming off that knee injury. I think that was the thing, especially after Christian got hurt. You really need to have someone that can stretch the field. And I know they brought in Hardman, but someone that really can be a difference maker speed-wise, I think would be a great fit. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've watched a ton of Texas tape. You see and hear what people are talking about that really study it, and he's the fastest guy. He is a really good wide receiver, and that would be a really good fit. I'm always nervous about guys, you're talking about Shamar, guys that have all of the tangible things that you're looking for, but you don't see that production. You're going to be going against a lot better players, and you can have the great, speed, and you can have that power, but you also have to know how to win. And obviously Lucas Van Ness is somebody that came into this as a high pick. He's strong. He's got to figure out how to win yet consistently so he can become that great pass rusher that you're looking for. I like seeing guys that are problem solvers too, because if you're a great college football player and you're going to have a chance to be a great pro, you're going to be getting double teamed, and you can say, all this other stuff. You have to figure that out. The great players find ways to still do it. And you can look around, whether it's Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, whomever. I always like seeing the guys that all of that Captain Underpants stuff that Molly's talking about matches up with the production. That's when you have an elite football player and not just somebody that looks the part but maybe isn't as productive as you hope.
And you're not at all, I guess, again, not putting words in your mouth, but based on what you just said, that you'd rather have Matthew Golden over Will Johnson, you're not concerned with the cornerback position? Because I feel like Matt and I are both very concerned with that position looking at their depth.
But you're not
or
concerned
lack
about
of
the
depth.
wide receiver? Are you not concerned about the wide receiver?
No, I am concerned about the wide receiver. And, I'd be excited if they got Golden. I think that'd be awesome. I wouldn't hate it by any means. I'd be very excited, especially getting a wide receiver in the first round for the first time in how many years?
I like Golden more than McMillan.
I do, too. But to me, I feel like there's nothing at the cornerback position. Like, I'm assuming Jair is off the team come July. Yeah. And Keyshawn Nixon as my number one cornerback? No thanks.
Well, I just look at it this way, and I thought the back end of last season with what Jeff Hafley was doing, and without a dominant pass rush, I thought our defensive backfield and our coverage units were pretty doggone good. I'm looking at the Philadelphia game, and I know that might be short-sighted, what we saw against the Bears and some of the other teams at the back end of the schedule. I thought our defense, and especially with Xavier McKinney back there, Evan Williams, you have more versatility maybe than you think. And don't forget, I know it was a free agent signing that not everybody was excited, but you brought in a corner that you feel really good about, either playing outside or in the slot. And Keyshawn Nixon, you can say he's a number one corner, and that is what's the first. I get it. Just because you're not going to address that in the first round doesn't mean you can't find a second round or a third round corner. Cooper DeJean was a second round corner, and he played a ton for Philadelphia. So I understand there's holes to be filled, no doubt. But I think at this point it's who is going to be that monster impact player that can come in and make a difference. And I would argue that the wide receiving core needs more of a big-time impact player than the secondary would on the defensive side of the ball.
Mark, wherever in the draft, not even applied to the Packers, but is there someone that you've heard good things about or you hear and you're like, I just love this prospect? Is there anyone in this draft where you're like, this guy, no matter what, is going to be a good NFL pro for the next decade?
I think the guys that you're hearing, obviously they're not going to be available for Green Bay. There's help me with his name, the North Dakota State left tackle. Everybody is kind of raving about him and his performance down at the Senior Bowl because I think that Senior Bowl gets a lot of love because you have a lot of competitive dudes really fighting and scrapping for draft positioning, and you get a good look at how guys do in really stressful scenarios. And one of the guys, I mean, obviously, Travis Hunter, everybody's excited about, and watching Penn State live and in person with Abdul Carter, that was, he is a special talent. But I just watch Ashton Genty play, run the football and what he does. I think he has got a chance to be really special. And the revival of the running back and how important that is to teams' offenses and the home run ability that he has, I think he could take, a quarterback or an offense that you would think maybe is going to struggle a little bit. He is a difference maker that I think can really flip maybe a quarterback that is struggling and is looking for ways to make their life easier. He could be one of those guys that could come in and really help elevate an offense.
Mark, another question I had for you, talking with Mark Tauscher, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's Custom and Madison's family-owned jeweler, Madison and Middleton locations here. But, Mark, we saw this last year with Jordan Morgan. We're seeing it this year with Will Campbell, the arm length thing. And I know that there is not a starting left tackle in the league that has a arm wingspan less than 33 inches. But at the same time, that still seems more anecdotal than, actually the cause of it, or like you can't play left tackle. But obviously you played right tackle in the NFL for a long time, Packer Hall of Famer. How much does the wingspan matter in this as based to athleticism and overall skill set and being a technician as far as an outside tackle?
Yeah, I think it matters. Obviously there's enough analytical evidence that there's a reason people want that. And the longer, it's just like basketball. I mean, you want people that are longer and more athletic, and those are qualities that you can have. And I think it does help you at least maybe weed some things out and gives you better indicators of who has a chance to be a big-time star or successful player. But there have been plenty of players, and this is why I think people are so enamored with the draft, is that this isn't robotic. This isn't, this guy has all these numbers and he's going to be a great player. Well, that's what you hope. But you don't know how they're wired, and it still comes back to you need to have the talent. And if you have those long arms and you have all that, your chances of being successful are better, but that doesn't mean you're going to be successful just because you have that. So I think that's why they're always trying to make as much data as they can to give themselves the best indicators, but there's still, you have to be able to measure heart, grit, and all of the little intangible things that you can't find except for watching film and talking to coaches. You can't see that in a 40-yard dash or in an arm, measuring guys' arms.
Awesome stuff, Mark. Listen, looking forward to hearing you Thursday and Friday. We appreciate you hopping on with us.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Mark Tauscher. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We got Molly's game coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Come on, Matt. You're the fantasy football guy.
Yeah. I know, but we're pretty far removed from fantasy last year.
And honestly, you're into tight ends.
Oh.
I knew how that was going to sound before I said it, but I didn't mean it like.
Okay.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
The keys of a new Audi are in reach at Audi of Madison. Save $3,000 on a new 2025 Audi Q5, A3 sedan, A5 Sportback, or A6 sedan. National credit is good towards the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until April 30th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see the current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline at Rimrock Road.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my
Hey, all you
hand.
sports bettors, if you aren't making your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you're missing out on an elite experience. Honestly, it's a complete sports betting paradise. Their state-of-the-art venue has dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for over 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, and a VIP deck. If that isn't enough for you, there's a giant video wall that's over 2,000 square feet. And if you're short on time, they have free 20-minute reserved structure parking. And in a major move for all the sports bettors out there, you can now use your Potawatomi Rewards card at most self-service kiosks and the betting counter. Bet on your favorite sports and earn rewards points along the way. Now that's a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Let's play Molly's game.
Hi. I am looking for Molly. I've been searching everywhere and I can't seem to find Molly.
This is Molly's Game, hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly Brown.
First of all, did you guys like my little Ozzy impression last week? Did you get to watch the videos?
Yeah, with your biting the head off of something. Was it a bat?
What? Did Ryan edit the video of me?
No. What was your
no.
Ozzy thing? Oh, yeah, your shades, your sunglasses.
Yeah, it was cringy.
You look very Ozzy.
It was
Jesus, I was like, did I do something I forgot?
Yes, but you think Molly did that?
That
Basically.
Matt, it was a video of Molly, not of me. Come on.
Fair enough, Ryan.
True.
Thanks for the correction.
I don't want to get in trouble here, Ryan. You didn't credit Dan Schaefer on the poll question he posted.
Oh, yes, I did. I did in the replies.
You did in the reply?
Oh,
okay.
my
All right.
gosh.
Hiding it.
Not
More people to come
hiding
after us.
No.
All right.
Jim, retweet the reply, and then
I
people
always
more
look
people
at
will know.
replies before I reply myself.
All right. I did that.
yeah.
All
So,
right,
do you
go
guys
ahead.
want to review last week's picks or no?
We need the
Do you
last
not want to
two.
get depressed?
I think I did good 2 weeks ago. Can we do that
Yeah,
one?
I did not have the picks from 2 weeks ago for them to review when we did
Oh,
Molly's game while you
bummer.
were out
I
last
didn't
Friday.
look at the answers. I'll get those next week so we can go back 3 weeks. Back to the
Perfect.
Masters. We can do a little rewind.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So do you have the ones from last week that they picked or no?
Gotta be honest.
No, I have the picks, but
you
I don't
do?
know. I don't know what they picked.
Oh, what did they pick?
You know what I mean?
I can't say
We can
I was
figure this
tracking
out.
This
it,
is like
man.
the Seinfeld thing where it's like anyone can take a reservation.
Yeah.
Can we actually track Molly's
Yeah.
game? Can
Well,
we,
no,
can we
I do
maybe
have
get-
it tracked. I just don't know who
what was
picked
the
what. I
other-
didn't listen back to the show.
No,
you guys.
but I
I'm
mean
sorry.
like overall results. Like who's good? Remember we used to have the
Yeah.
the
Who's
sugar.
the leader
All
in the
right,
clubhouse?
All right.
Sugar.
Starting.
What was it?
Sugar Skull.
The sugar skull. We had like
Oh.
a trophy. It was a proper game.
You were a part of the show. Don't
it's
act like you
still
don't know what we're
at-
talking about.
I wasn't.
Or
Oh,
you
yeah,
should have been
yeah,
part
you
of it.
were.
Yeah,
That's when
I
I got
was.
the presents down in Mexico.
The little disco ball that we have out in the whatever it's called office.
It's on Pop's desk.
Whatever it's called. Yeah.
It's a sugar skull.
Okay, starting today, I will keep track. Okay,
Okay.
starting with the NFL draft. That is what
Okay.
we will start with. That is our marking point. That is
There
the
we go.
beginning of season 1.
Molly's game
Even though
season.
it's way past season 1. Anyways.
Perfect.
So, guys, first up, over under 9.5 total Big Ten players drafted in the first round. Jim, you first.
So dual card. I'm just trying to run through a few. 9.5 still seems high, but I feel like this is a heavy Big Ten draft. I'm gonna go
And
over.
the Big Ten's bigger now.
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah. It's Carter.
Big 72.
You got the tight end from Penn State. There's
Tyler Warren.
at least 2 from Michigan. Ohio
Johnson,
State's
lot of
got a
Michigan.
lineman.
Grant,
And,
Will
yeah,
Johnson, Kenneth Grant, and
Yeah.
Colton Loveland, and who's the higher? Graham, right? Mason Graham.
Mason Graham, Colston Loveland, 2 Michigan players. And then also, don't forget Oregon. Derek Harmon could be a first-round pick.
And then Conklin is a guy that might sneak in the background.
Yeah.
Left
Josh
tackle.
Connerly?
Connerly? Sorry,
Yes.
yeah, sorry.
we're going to go, we'll go over.
Ryan.
Honestly, they just convinced me. Yeah, there are a lot more Big Ten guys than I realized, which, we'll be interested to see if there's more Big Ten than SEC for once.
For what it's worth, and you can't change your answers now because you're locked in. When I just looked at a mock draft, and I can't remember whose it was, I'm sorry, but the most recent one that I looked at on ESPN, I believe had 10 going. So
Okay.
it's an interesting line. Next one here, guys. Michael Williams draft position. Over under 15.5. Matt, how about you first?
Man,
You've been seeing his name up on the TV all day. Yesterday, too.
yeah, I think he's going to go inside the top 15. We'll go, so under?
Yep. Jim?
I'm going to go over because I've seen him mocked as high as to like the Bears at 10, and I could see him if they can't move back or if they can't move up, I could see him being a guy that they'd want.
You said over
Yeah,
under
so
50.
it'd be under. Over under 15.5.
Oh, you're right. I guess I'm thinking that.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, under. Sorry.
So 15.5. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't see him lasting past the Falcons at 15. Yeah, I'll have to take him before 15.5.
Alrighty. And last one here, guys. Position of Mr. Irrelevant. What will it be? Ryan, you look startled, so you're going first.
I mean, it's the all-time dice roll. I'm gonna say
But it'd be fun if you got it.
it would be. That would be a hell of a long shot. I know it won't be the guy who didn't do very well at his combine.
No idea. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strofe will
Stop
not be.
buying time.
I'm gonna say it's a linebacker. I don't know.
Okay.
Just linebacker.
I'll go quarterback because there might just be someone you don't want to have to fight with in the undrafted free agent, priority free agent sort of thing. So I'm going to go with quarterback.
I'll go offensive lineman.
All right. I like it. I like
Did you
guys
look
all
up?
got different.
Did you look up what the last few were at all?
I didn't. That would have been good to know, though.
We'll start. I'll
What?
start.
Why are you
pulling up
laughing?
The Google machine.
You're like, that would have been a good.
That would have been good.
That would have been a good job
That's
by
something
me
that
if
like
I.
a producer does, right? Should I chat GPT it?
Is,
I'll
she
just
supposed, is he
Maybe.
supposed to read your mind?
I mean, duh.
I mean,
Well,
that's
if
what
he's
a
going
good
to ask the
producer
question,
does.
he should know the answer.
Well, I'm finding the answer.
I got it for you.
Matt's a good producer.
It was a safety. Jalen Key, New York Jets, last year. It was a defensive end, quarterback in Brock Purdy in 22, linebacker, tight end, wide receiver, taking us back to 2018.
All right. I feel good with my linebacker pick, then.
Obviously, I don't know for certain, but there's only one semi-star in there, and that's the Brock Purdy that I'm seeing so far.
Yeah,
so
they usually don't.
They normally don't make it, yeah. Well, you never know. Like,
yeah, you usually
how far back do you have to go to find a good Mr. Irrelevant?
Brock Purdy. Yeah,
Pretty far.
After Brock Purdy, probably very far. You're more likely to hit on one of the undrafted free agents than you are Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. I'm all the way back to 92, and I still can't see anybody I recognize.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are going to go pole dancing next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Who just Who was that?
That was Molly.
Okay.
Molly's a snorter, and she makes weird noises when she laughs.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
May I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Mountain Blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
She's Molly Brown alongside Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio with us as well. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. It's a Phish Friday on a Wednesday because our show is not beloved like all the other shows. We're the only show, I believe, on ESPN Wisconsin that doesn't have their own show together.
We're not salty about it at all.
Tragic. I'm just, so if you don't like that, reach out to Jesse Nelson. So everyone else got their show together except for Jim, Matt, and Molly. But Prime, that means we go pole dancing on a Wednesday. And I'll tell you what, if you're going somewhere with pole dancing on a Wednesday, you need to reevaluate your life.
Wisconsin experience.
On Jim, Matt, and Molly.
That's the media members you need
Presented
to
by
do.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted
kidding.
Kia dealership.
No, I mean, it's not going to be a good representation of Wisconsin.
Fair.
I don't know, Jim. The ladies up at Bean Snappers might disagree with you. So, guys, as it is the end of the week.
That's a peppermint hippo?
Spearmint Rhino.
I wouldn't call them ladies, Molly. Anyways, talking about poll questions from around ESPN Wisconsin this week, guys. On Kyle Bruston Nortman, they heard Goody's comments from his pre-draft press conference, and they wanted to know, do you think the Green Bay Packers will win a Super Bowl with Brian Gutekunst as general manager? 48% of fans saying yes, 52% saying no. Molly Brown, I know you have some very stark opinions on this.
Why you got to do this to me? I want to say yes, but in my heart of hearts, I believe no, unfortunately. Because they're not going to go all in like I keep telling them to do. That's my answer.
All right, Matt Hamilton, the other Packers fan.
Brutally, I agree with Molly. Goody loves to be relevant, but she's right. He needs to go all in to make it happen. Like, I don't see it. Not with Goody at the helm, at least.
All right.
I'm going to say no. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. I don't think Goody... Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. They build the roster, and it didn't fit the timeline. I don't think Goody is necessarily understanding that you can't just live by one way of doing things, and sometimes you have to jazz up the timeline to be able to match the window of your team. And I think Jordan Love specifically, because I don't think he's a franchise QB in the way that you call like Aaron Rodgers a franchise QB, that you're going to have a window. And there's going to be a specific window for Jordan Love and the Packers to win. And I don't think Goody is going to move off his plan to be like, hey, you know what, right now, and I don't know if it is this exact moment, but hey, the division's down or things are breaking our way. We got Jordan Love and we got a star receiver. We're going to have to pay everyone in a few years. Let's just go all in at this moment to go win a Super Bowl. And I think that's what good teams and good GMs have to do. So I'm going to go no.
All right, guys. Well, we got 2 minutes left, and I wanted to find a Bucks poll question for us because we want to talk about the Bucks before the end of the show. And guys, the only poll question I could find about the Bucks was ours from yesterday. Now that Dame is back, are we back to Bucks in 6? 23% said back to Bucks in 6. 48% said no, can't win in 6. 29% of fans saying yes, was always Bucks in 6. Matt Hamilton, how are you feeling after the Bucks lost in Game 2?
It's always Bucks in 6.
We're going to win in 6.
Molly Brown?
My answer is different than yesterday. Today I'm saying no, they will not be winning in 6, unfortunately. It'll be 7! Just kidding.
No! Okay.
I'm joking.
I don't even feel good sticking at my Pacers in 6 pick at this point.
Yeah.
Pacers in 5. What? I want to ask this question at a different point. Are we selfish as fans wanting Giannis to stay? Because John Horst has not been able to build a roster. Doc Rivers can't manage a roster. And there's not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel with this roster to be able to turn it into something that Giannis can win a championship.
Are you blaming Doc for this, for the roster? Because
No.
I feel like they're doing pretty good with the pieces they've been given.
I'm not an expert on it, but the rest of the NBA basketball world would say Doc is doing a horrible job with this line. Like, the lineup is already a problem, and then he is doing
Not
far
doing
from
any favors.
maximizing it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that matters in a win or not. If I'm ranking the problems, it's John Horst, Doc Rivers, and then obviously that's how just those two.
We're going to win the 6.
Jimmy Haslam is third.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
it is.
Where does Aaron Rodgers rank?
Is he still part of ownership?
He is.
Number 1. That's just toxic stuff.
Toxic. It is sad to think about, but it would be selfish for fans. Like, he got us the championship. We should be pretty thrilled. And if he wants to move on, I don't think there should be any bad blood towards Giannis.
No, and honestly, I feel like we're being selfish trying to keep him. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. If Giannis stays, build him 2 statues. He's already going to get 1. Build him another statue for staying. It's been Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're back on Monday.
See ya.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement